Dun, 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 dun.
Hold the door.
For the watch. For the watch.
Gang, gang.
How you doing?
What's good? Back at it with another one.
Another one.
I'm festive.
Hi, Festive.
Yeah. Captain America
Oh,
and Deadpool. He was in Deadpool.
yeah, it was.
This is Flick Filter. I'm Big Diesel.
And I'm Coach.
We're talking. We're gonna do something different. We saw a movie.
We did see a movie.
Materialists.
Yes, Materialists.
It's basically a romance movie.
Yep.
Starring Dakota Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
Madam Web,
Madam Web,
Chris Evans, Captain America,
Human Torch,
yeah, other stuff.
other things.
Pedro Pascal, a lot of things.
A lot of things. Mando.
Fantastic Four. He always got a baby or a kid.
Yeah.
Last of Us.
In this one, though, he does not have a kid.
Ah.
At least that we know of.
He's older.
He is older.
So he might,
He could have a child, but yeah.
Anywho, this is basically about Dakota Johnson is playing, I forget her
She is
name.
a matchmaker.
I was going for the name.
Oh, for the name. Yeah, we don't care about the name.
You don't care.
I'm kidding. Her name is important. Say her name. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Terrible.
I'm so sorry.
Corny.
Her name is Lucy.
Lucy Goosey.
Her name is Lucy. Yes.
So Lucy. No,
Yeah, Lucy.
Don't close out of it. Yeah, who's Chris Evans?
Chris Evans is John.
And
Pedro Pascal is Harry.
So,
Lucy John
basically, she's a matchmaker who ends up meeting Pedro Pascal's character, and they start dating. But later on, that she bumps into Chris Evans, who is basically her ex.
Yes.
And that's basically the movie, just her kind of balancing everything.
Right. Yeah, she is a matchmaker who is fairly successful.
She's pretty sick.
Yeah, she's pretty successful.
She's on the top of.
Yeah, she's definitely moved her way through the job where she works, and she has a lot of clientele. She matches wealthy men with pretty successful women.
She seems to get the formula down.
Yes,
like
she has a formula.
Yeah,
we talked about she's kind of like
secret formula.
She's kind of like a female Hitch.
Yes,
in a way, a little different, but kind of similar.
Yeah.
So yes, she, like you said, she's attending a wedding of, I believe it's one of her clients, and that's where she meets Harry, and then runs into John at the same event. It's kind of like it very much seems like one of those rom-com moments where it's like she's just meeting Harry for the first time, and then like John appears and it's like, oh, I haven't seen you in years, blah blah blah, and then they reconnect. And
this was very predictable, but I feel like all romance, they got a specific formula and they pretty much don't stray too far from it.
Yes. I would say it was predictable to an extent. I would say some parts weren't. Like, I'm not gonna spoil, but I'm just gonna say, like, I think because I'm familiar enough with the genre, but also I saw Celine Song, who is the director of Materialists. She directed a movie a couple years ago called Past Lives. It was very critically acclaimed. It won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. original or adapted? I think it was original. That was one of my favorite movies of that year. But I bring that up because that was also a movie that had a sort of a love triangle plot line. So it's
I feel
interesting.
like love triangles are a bit overused.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, like in CW stuff.
Interesting.
I feel like me liking the Arrowverse and Supernatural and all that stuff. I feel like they definitely did kind of do a lot of you know love triangles.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um,
could see. I mean,
so I get kind of. I think they're overused a little bit.
okay, okay. I think I've thought about this to some degree. I don't think they're overused, but I think they can be poorly used. Like I think it's one of those things where it all depends on the execution. Like I think if it's used well, then it works fine. But if it's not, then it's like, dang, this is gonna feel like something that was been done before, not done is great because with love triangles, that's a thing in real life. It's not to maybe not to the extent that movies or shows dramatize them, but I feel like there's always that like, oh, this person likes this person, but then they also like that person, and that person may like somebody else, and then there's always this thing in romantic comedies or romance movies where somebody is choosing between two options or multiple options. I think that's just a common thing that tends to happen. Um, but I think it's just again how you execute it. I think that's what determines the quality.
Got, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
So what did you like about this film?
I liked the I liked that it made me think about just the modern uh, dating scene. How
Hey, I'm glad you
even
came
though
to it.
yeah, even though like I think things may look different for them in terms of their socioeconomic status and their culturally, like they're in New York and things may look different, but I feel like there's just universal things that are true that are true throughout most modern relationships, like the way people prioritize like their marriage is a business transaction, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
common thing that's said, and um, people
Or
are
it's like there's a formula to love type deal in
yes,
in finding your. I feel like that's what makes dating. There's so many variables that
yes,
you gotta that there is no specific formula.
right,
And then you got to realize as Christians, it's more than that. Like
yeah,
we we as Christians need to do better. Like other stuff. More importantly, like I feel like the main person they're looking for looks. They're looking for how much do they make.
mm-hmm.
Type type of thing. Are they introvert, extrovert? You know, stuff like that. When really, most importantly, do you believe in God? Um, what's your relationship with God like?
Yeah,
What are your core values?
mm-hmm.
And I feel like people just don't, you know, look for that.
Yeah. I think one thing, well, a couple things, but one thing is like you got to ask certain questions like that early on. And it's funny we're getting to this, this particular subject because I was gonna ask you what you
I know.
thought about it from.
I figured it was gonna go
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
but I didn't know we were gonna get here, at this point. But I'm glad you did bring it up. But I will say like, um, even when it like getting down to how we navigate relationships, like asking the right questions early on to make sure you are compatible in uh, a deep enough way. You don't have to like go super deep right at the beginning.
No.
But I think it's important to ask certain questions to make sure you're not wasting you or the other person's time, because like, you know, especially as once you get to a certain age, you want to make sure that you're being respectful of people, and when people you when you are interacting with people and engaging with people that you may have some interest with, it's like, people only have so much time, and you want to be intentional, and you want to ask the right questions, you want to have the deeper conversations, and to what you were saying before, even just because you and somebody may share the same faith and maybe are compatible in that way, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's necessarily the person for you. I would agree that you do need to have that base level of, understanding and being, in a similar place as far as, spiritual foundation and belief. But I think, you know, how you handle conflict, how you, um, just handle how you navigate certain things, and are you, able to agree on other things as well. You have to agree on everything, but
there's certain things that I've realized in dating where certain things may seem important at one point,
yeah,
but then you realize, alright, you either like don't care about it as much, or you realize it's not really as important as other things are. When it comes to, really thinking about, hey, should I be spending my life with this person or whatever? As far, because I feel like some things you can look over, you know.
that's true.
But anywho, um, besides all that, I think I'm very a non-believer when it comes to, excuse me, like hitch people,
Yeah.
like
Well, just matchmaking people.
matchmaking people, online dating, where I've seen it work. I've seen online dating work before, but I've always been skeptical more because I'm just a in-person type. Um, I need to meet you in person to really feel your. I'm more of a vibes person. How's our chemistry? How's our vibes? And then go from there.
Yeah.
I feel like once you're comfortable around somebody, you see their real. Like once they're comfortable around you and you're comfortable around them, you see their real, who they really are. Because at first you have these walls kind of put up.
Yeah.
So it was quite interesting having these perspectives where it was more like she felt like she knew all, like knew how to get somebody, but then she kind of had all this going on. She had all that drama with her ex, and then of course she has, you know, stuff that goes on with Pedro Pascal's character as well. So it was quite interesting to see those parallels.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely interesting. Yeah, I like the way you phrase it. Seeing those parallels. Yeah, with with John being her ex, and then seeing different points in their past relationship and how they were struggling. And I remember her saying, like, she didn't want to hate him or resent him because they were poor, and she hated being poor. And like that's real. Like we say, like we may say, like,
yeah, that money doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, or that shallow. But at the end of the day, like nobody likes to struggle, and a lot of times you can romanticize that thing, but then when you're actually in the middle of it, it's like, man, it sucks to be struggling and not knowing, like, how y'all gonna pay for bills, and how are we gonna, eat. Like that's a real thing. Versus on the extreme end, you got Pedro Pascal's character who's literally worth millions, multi-millions.
What they call him, a unicorn?
Yeah, she called him a unicorn because like she would name all these like things like, oh, you've got this money, you're this tall, you look like this, you are this, and it's like she's naming all these like very, very surface level things.
Yeah.
And like as far as the character wise, which is interesting because he wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't a villain. He wasn't like mean or disrespectful. And I think that's why she was kind of infatuated with him more than like, oh, she actually, really, really loved him. But that's, more into the spoiler area. But yeah, I think it's just interesting to see that dynamic play out where she had this relationship with her ex, and there's chemistry with him. She has chemistry with Pedro Pascal, and neither relationship is like quote unquote perfect, but neither one was like, oh, this is a terrible option. It's just what does she value more? Like you value like, or what you had with somebody that that you loved in the past, but y'all just struggle because of these various reasons, or you can get with this other guy who's worth all this money. Like, yeah, I think the movie kind of asked that question,
and it definitely gets you thinking.
Yeah,
because it doesn't outright like there's not like even when it ends, it's just kind of like it's open ended.
I think it's close. I think it was pretty close ended, or like I think they said what they were trying to say without being too preachy, but because she does make a choice. I'm not gonna say like, oh, she chooses this person, but she does. I like that she does make a choice.
She makes a choice, but it's kind of like I don't just speaking hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
It could always there could be more story to tell. If
Gotcha.
Like it didn't. I'm just saying it didn't end with like all the questions answered, and it was tied up in a neat bow, and it said the end, and it kind of just left you wondering like what could have happened next.
Yeah, that's true.
So, anyways, what did you not like about it?
What did I not like? I would say the it's tough because there are things I can say that are I think maybe minor criticisms. Well, they could be bigger depending on how you look at them. I know it wasn't a rom com per se. Like some people may believe that it was, but I saw it leaned more as like a romance that had a little bit of comedy, but the I knew kind of what it was, or at least I had a certain expectation just because of the filmmakers' previous movie. But I'm thinking about like the actual detail, the plot details itself. I think Lucy as a character, the way it shows that she's kind of shallow at the beginning, and I think that's for a good reason. But I'm wondering if, and there's a particular event, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it's like that being the catalyst. I'm not sure if that was a good reason for that to be the thing that kind of like shifts her thinking in it, because it's like, oh, do you need a tragic event for that to be why you now shifted your perspective?
Yeah.
Not to say like, and that thing that was still bad, but I was like, I don't know if that was like if that should be the thing that gets you to change for this type of movie. I'm not mad at the choice for that thing for that thing to happen, but for that being the motivating factor, I'm not sure. Again, it's something I'm still kind of thinking about. Um, that's one thing, but if I think of something else, I may mention it. But what
There's
about
not
you?
a lot of bad things to point out.
Yeah.
I feel like it was an enjoyable movie.
Mhm.
Um, feel like I could have had more Pedro Pascal.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. I think Dakota did good. Everybody did good. Um, yeah, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this movie.
Yeah. I will say, okay, so I did think of one other thing, but I can't really say it because it would kind of be a spoiler. But I would say what I will say without spoiling it necessarily is I think a certain decision she makes is it's not that it was super surprising, but I think if there was a little bit more build up to that particular moment, I feel like it may have hit a little harder. And not to say you needed this like super dramatic moment, but I think um, when she does make a pretty critical decision later in the movie, it's like, is there a bigger reason for this to happen, or is it just like, oh, I feel this particular way about you, and that's why this is happening? So I'm kind of beating around the bush for a reason,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's
Just
like,
go watch it.
yeah,
Go
I would
watch it
say
and you'll understand.
go watch it and you'll understand. And maybe you'll feel the same way, maybe you'll feel different, but yeah, it was just like I think because she and these characters have they have a connection, and it's I don't know. It's also making me think about something else, but like yeah, I enjoyed it. But there are certain things where I just have like a couple questions about. So
Like little nitpicks.
yeah,
Um, but I'm glad we did this movie review because the people I follow haven't really been talk. Not a lot of people have been talking about it, at least in my algorithm. When it comes to YouTube or anything else.
yeah,
So I'm glad we were able to see this movie.
yeah,
Kind of, we like to step out of just the normal big blockbuster.
yeah,
Like we like to watch all kinds of films.
yep,
So I feel like this was great.
yes, yes. Yeah, really, really enjoyed this one. It's not the typical type of movie we review on this channel, but we
Yeah.
definitely want to review more movies like this because we want y'all to be aware of things that you may have not heard of or things that are underseen.
Yeah. And we definitely want to support more movies, especially ones that may not be as popular or have IPs or sequels or trequels or. But anywho, that is basically it. Would you rate it?
I might give it like a 3.5 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
3.5. 3.5.
All right.
Yeah. So, anyways, post your comments down below. Let us know. And I guess the next ones will be coming up. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So please like, share, subscribe, follow us on social media.
Yes. Follow us on the YouTubes, the IGs, the TikToks,
All that good stuff.
all that stuff.
And we hope you like a lot of our out of theater reviews.
Yes. Yes. Trying to keep those coming.
Yeah.
Let us know.
And we might do some other videos, switch things up,
Yeah.
depending on what's on the day. So we'll see. Let us know what other type of videos you want or other type of content, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.